Hello and welcome. Here we have an interesting little haul that I've just come across recently and picked all this up in the same lot. The PS1 here, IBM PS1 in box. I have no idea what condition the machine's in, whether it's working or not, but it's fairly promising in that it's still in its box and the box is in pretty good condition. Also picked up a little Amiga 600 HD version here. Apparently it's not working, and I suspect there's a bit of battery leakage, so we might have to whip out the memory expansion card here and see whether we can actually get any life out of this machine at all. But that's something. Also this neat little Toshiba here. I have no idea what condition this machine's in. It's a T1910. Nice little laptop. So that'll be an interesting project. This IBM ThinkPad, seen better days. It's got a crack in the top here. It's got that horrible rubbery coating that tends to degrade over time, but you know, could be good for parts. I have another similar machine that isn't working, so you know, that could be quite good for bits and pieces. Designed for Windows 95. I'll get you in for a close look, but underneath the PS1 here we have a digital micro PDP11 /73. Says here. I have no idea about these machines, but what attracted me to this was this hard drive. I would assume that it's an MFM type hard drive. It is a 85 megabyte ST506 Micropolis, and that looks to me like it's, you know, IBM type compatible. I know nothing about these PDP11 type machines, so this will be a learning experience for me. There's the label on the back there, Micropolis. So yeah, pretty beefy looking hard drive, full height hard drive. So that'll be interesting to see if that's still working and whether I can plug that into one of my IBMs. I'm not sure. Here we have a dual floppy disk drive labeled 4 and 5 with a curious mechanism. I'm quite keen to explore that. I'm not sure whether, you know, that is usable in any other system or what. I don't know what I can do with this really. It's a rack mount, as you can see. It's a rack mount type system. Whether I go ahead and research this one and get into it, I don't know. Even just for the bits and pieces. I'm curious as to, you know, the architecture and things like that of this machine. Here we have the top of the PDP11 here. Big sort of blade type server there. I'm looking forward to getting the top panels off this. I won't go through too much detail in this video, but this one's going to be a nice one to explore. I'm not sure if I can do anything with it. Not sure what these here would be, but would these be where the terminals plug in? I'll have to look this up. Got some beefy connections down here. Could be networking or something, could it? The PDP11 fanboys are probably screaming at me, but I don't know much about them. There's the model number. I'll be doing a little bit of research on this one. Output rating there. So yeah, looking forward to exploring. A couple of decent sized fans on the side here. Pretty substantial. And if we have a wee peek in the side, you can see cards packed in here. Packed to the brim. So yeah, stacks of them. Yep, that looks very interesting. Anyway, we'll take a deeper dive into that at some other time. Just taking a handheld here for a second. We've got this Wang, looks like a terminal screen. That's, yeah, not sure about that one. There's the model information. And this crate here is the 1084S monitor for the Amiga, and we've got a bunch of floppy disks here that came with it, and external floppy disk drive. You know, needs a good clean up, but not too bad. Power supply, mouse, more disks, another power supply there. 2 power supplies, not sure why. Over here we've got, really just got this for parts. I mean, there's some useful bits in here. Floppy disk drive, AT power supply. It's a socket 7 motherboard. Not sure what CPU is on there. Probably Pentium or something, would it be? What have we got? Oh, we have an IBM 6x86. There we go. There's a close-up of that CPU. And we've got PCI S3 Vision 868 graphics chip there. Little PCI graphics card. You know, handy for bits. I'm sure this real-time clock / battery here is dead. But yeah, useful for parts. Nice little advanced MPC desktop PC with built-in speakers. And the reason I grabbed this one is always handy to have a 5¼ inch floppy disk drive. It's got the Creative CD-ROM drive, the floppy disk here, 1.44 meg floppy disk here. Just a standard little desktop, not sure what that'll be, probably a Pentium or late 486 or something like that, I guess, not sure. Got a couple of motherboards in here, Pentium 2 I would say, maybe Pentium 3, it's an Asus P3BF, and we've got all sorts of goodies in here. Got some sort of training kit, NX1000 Stampworks experiment board, so that's interesting. Couple of Bigfoot hard drives there, a floppy drive for external floppy drive for the Toshiba. There's all sorts of bits and pieces. Spectrum power supply, a couple of 5¼ inch disk drives, you know, breadboard, quite handy. 2.88 megabyte IBM drive, pretty handy. Just various cards, some full length. This is, don't know whether this will be any use, but it's branded Wang down here. Not sure, some sort of interface card. Oh, hard drive controller, would it be? Winnie floppy controller. Memory card, would it be? Expansion memory, 16-bit 1 meg. Could be handy. Looks IBM compatible. Not sure. What's that? That's a Visa Local Bus graphics card. Visa Local Bus I/O card. Have a look at that. Another motherboard, 486. That's an Asus VL/I-486 SVGO. Pretty handy. So yeah, just a general sort of mixture really. Pretty handy. Here's the label on the side of the box for the PS1. 486SX processor, 25 megahertz. 170 meg hard drive, 4 meg expandable to 64. 8K internal cache. 0.39 dot pitch SVGA monitor. Supports 1024x768 graphics and 256 colors. Local bus video, that's handy. Selectric Touch 2 keyboard, 101 key, that'll be interesting to see what that feels like. 1994, 8th of July. Note, we've got power cord included, Australian, New Zealand power cord. If we have a look down here, we've got International Business Machines Corporation, manufactured in Australia from domestic and foreign components. So built in Australia and obviously shipped out here to New Zealand. The box is substantial. I'm wondering what state this machine's in. Let's unbox it, take a little look. This is not a good sign. Empty box. Empty box, so the keyboard is missing, I think. Here's the lovely little PS1 itself is still in its polys. Oops, sorry, still in its polys there. Very nice. And yeah, the door still folds down. 3.5 inch floppy drive there. Very nice. 486SX. Looks like the original mouse. Not 100% sure what the PS1 came with, but it's got IBM stamped on it. Needs a good clean. I'll slide the base on here for the screen. Nice. While I've got it there, I might as well hook up the VGA. I couldn't find my original IBM PS1 keyboard, but this will have to do in the meantime. Microsoft keyboard, a little bit grubby, sorry, I just pulled it out of the garage. Should we just fire this up, see what we get? Hopefully no magic smoke. Power's on. Let's turn the screen on for a start. Okay, it's good. No loud bangs, no smoke. It's always a good sign. Let's turn the computer on here. Sounds okay. Oh, we have something on the screen there. 4 megabytes of RAM, okay. Sorry if you can't quite see that there. We've got it. Following errors, memory error. Press enter to run the configuration utility. Enter, I don't know, internal cache. Didn't it say it had cache? 8K, was it? Oh, I don't know. Might just run with that. Just want to see what happens here. Okay. F1 asking for a floppy, so it's not detecting the hard drive. Is that? Let's do a warm boot there. 264 error, is it? 264. Everything seems to be fairly well in order. Memory size error. Yeah, okay, so I really need to look into this here. Anyway, we have live. I'm not going to go through and troubleshoot this machine at the moment, but definitely got live there. I'm sure it's just a BIOS configuration issue. So it could just be the hard drives not being detected, or it's faulty, I'm not sure. But I'm sure if I put a DOS boot disk in the floppy drive there, it should boot. Yeah, I've got a DOS 6.22. Let's just see. F1. Is it going to boot off that DOS disk? Floppy drive could do with a clean maybe. Just the light on solid here. Can't hear any disk access. Anyway, I'll leave this one at this stage and come back to it. So yeah, keep an eye out for a video on this one here. Next, I would like to try the Amiga. Okay, time to look at the Amiga here. It definitely needs a clean. Yeah. Warranty seal's still sealed, not broken. So it hasn't been messed around with. What I did find in the bottom of the box is a nasty looking memory upgrade with a leaky battery. So that needs sorting there. I'll just check in the trapdoor here. Yep, nothing populated in there. Okay, so I've checked the power supply voltages. They seem to be all good there, albeit not under load. But I'll connect this machine up and see if we get anything at all. I mean, there's a possibility that the monitor's not set up correctly. And I noticed that the cable where it plugs into the back of the monitor, the signal, the RGB cable where it plugs into the back of the monitor is very wobbly. So, you know, there could be an option there. I do have other monitors to try, but let's just see if we get anything out of this little beastie here. Let's turn it on there. Hopefully we don't get any issues. Okay, we've got light. Hard drive spinning up. Is the screen on? Let me just check the screen. Ah, there's the screen. I've just turned the screen on. It's booting. There, it's booting. Wow, awesome. I bought this dead, as a dead unit. Mouse is working. Everything's working. Oh, I couldn't ask for better. That's the contrast there. Brightness. Colour doesn't seem to have much effect. Wow, that is brilliant. So brilliant. This monitor is working. The Amiga's working. Yeah, just awesome. Hard drive's working in this thing. Obviously we need probably more RAM to get anything decent running here, but let's have a little explore. Okay, got it about the best I can get it. Sorry, there's still a little bar rolling up there, but let's have a wee look around here. Civilization, will Civilization run in this much RAM? I'm not sure. It's empty anyway, is it? Fractal programs. Show all files. Do we have anything in here? Yeah, we have something. Not much. We have Kickstart version 37.35, Workbench version 38.35. Everything seems to be working. We've got Xcopy here. Just locked up. Not enough RAM maybe? Just warm booted. Oh, we got a software failure. Guru meditation. Let's just do a reboot there. Yep, but it's working. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to have to get in and clean up corrosion and, you know, do a little bit of troubleshooting, but I would say that this was stopping the machine from booting. And yeah, so I'm really pleased with the results. I've got a working Amiga 600HD. I've got a working IBM PS1, partially take a little bit more time and do some work on that. And I've got, the beastly Micropolis here, which I'm keen to have a look at. So I think I'll leave it at that for this one. This will make very good fodder for more YouTube videos, so keep an eye out for more videos. Just pretty much do random subjects, as you probably know if you do follow the channel. But I just do what I feel like doing. Yeah, today I came across this haul of computers and bits and pieces, so I thought I would show it to you. And yeah, just bear in mind I'm trying not to show off. I don't want to show off about what I've got and picked up. I just like showing other people what I've come across. I like to fix them up, clean them up as a hobby, and also like to have these videos as sort of documentation for my own benefit, really, just so that I can one day go back. I mean, if I ever lost these machines, the collection for some reason, at least I've got some video record of what I've got and what I had. Hopefully it doesn't come to anything like that, but who knows what can happen. We've had some pretty severe flooding just recently from a cyclone up in the North Island of the country, and really severe flooding, I mean major flooding, and it just makes you realize that these things that you might collect might not always be there. And I think it's a good good thing to do to sort of video document it, and at least, you know, you can, if the worst comes to the worst, you can go back and reminisce. You know, I always hope that it never comes to that. Yeah, but it's always in the back of my mind. It sounds fatalistic, I know, but unfortunately that's just the way of things. I'm going to have fun messing around with these computers. Yeah, I'm having a bit of trouble staying on task. I was doing some videos on the 5036A microprocessor lab. I'm still reading through the manual and getting my head around some of that. So yeah, trying to stay on task, I get distracted. I'll probably go and clean this little beauty up and have a wee play. So yeah, thanks for watching.